Ready to get your shit together? Isn't that what we are all truly trying to do? In this fun, life hack full show, we will learn together how to navigate this roller coaster called life. We, as glorious messy humans, can sit in the proverbial third car, grumpy and bored, or in the front of the roller coaster having the time of our lives. What do you choose? In this show, you can expect meaningful content and practical takeaway tools to make life easier and exceptionally more joyful. There will be epic guests who already love their lives, allowing them to share their get your shit together tips and words of wisdom. Life is too long and too short to not love your life. Welcome to Get Your Shit Together Live with Amy Joy. Hello, welcome to Get Your Shit Together Live with Amy Joy, and I'm your host, Amy Joy. Happy Thursday, and congratulations on your abundance. I want you to take a look around right now and really notice all of your abundance. The abundance in how your body is functioning, the abundance in how you can see me right now, hear me right now, the abundance in the furniture that you're enjoying. We are so incredibly abundant, and sometimes we take it for granted. So, congratulations on your abundance. I'm really excited about our show today. I have the amazing Renee Reisch. She is a 4-time #1 best-selling author. She is the founder of Find Your Voice Network. She literally lost her voice completely for a long period of time and then found it again in so many ways. And we're going to hear about that. And make sure you stay tuned to the end for mantra magic and the blessing and the 5-minute meditation moment that we do. It's a fun, full life hack, full show. I appreciate so much you spending your time and your energy here with me today. I love you. I appreciate you. All right, so this is the time where we change our state, elevate. All right, this is where we spend just 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes on changing our frequency. Why do that? Well, there's low frequency and high frequency. And when we're in a low frequency, that's when we feel crappy, basically. And we're going to go from crappy to happy. So who's in for that? Those of you on Facebook that are tuning in, thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Love to hear your comments. Let me know if you're feeling crappy or happy right now. And take a little inventory on where you're at on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 being really, really happy and feeling great about life and yourself, and 0 feeling crappy. All right, so take a little inventory, and this is how we're going to notice the difference. So today we're going to talk about, and we're going to drink water. Water is a beautiful, easy, fun way to raise your frequency. Did you know that half of America is dehydrated? Half of us are dehydrated. Dehydration causes kidney disease. It can even kill you. Not to put fear in your heart, but know how important water is. So I want you to stop whatever you're doing and run and get some water, and we're going to drink it. And I want you to pay attention. Do you feel any different? All right, I'm going to do it with you. Let's do it. Beautiful. And drink some more. Water is super important. I have Kangen filtered water. Look that up if you can. Kangen, Kangen. It's ionized water and it's alkaline water. And I often put as well my essential oil. I like lemon in my water, and that helps alkaline your water. Now, why is that important? Well, alkaline disease can't live in an alkaline body. Kind of important that we stay alkaline. Unfortunately, a lot of the things that we eat and drink are acidic. And so this is one beautiful way that you can drink your water, have it alkaline, and therefore alkaline your body. So let me know in the chat how you're feeling now. And make sure you're drinking enough water. It's debatable how many glasses, but you should know for you, at least 8, I would say 8 to 10 nice glasses of water a day will do the trick. So change your state, elevate. That was easy, right? It's really not hard to change our state. We just have to choose and be aware of doing it. So well done. All right, now we are going to talk about it's time to get our shit together. I'm getting my shit together all the time. And you know why? The reason we're doing water today is because I needed to practice what I preach. I hadn't drank enough water today. And so, yeah, we're always getting our own shit together. As much as we know, there's always so much more to know. So today we're going to answer the question, what if we can dance with our fear? I talk about fear quite a bit because it is such an evil little, it just doesn't serve us most of the time. Fear is amazing when we're being chased by a tiger or a really bad person, right? But most of the time, this isn't the case, right? Most of the time, thankfully, we live pretty safe. But we have created this environment of fight or flight, and our nervous systems are really, really affected. And we get fearful about the smallest of things. And fear can literally keep you stuck, trapped, all the words, all the synonyms of that, and can literally destroy your life. How many people know somebody that is completely controlled by fear? Right? We all know somebody. And maybe that person is looking at you back in the mirror, right? And I used to be terrified. I used to live in literal terror for years. So I know quite a bit about this subject, and it is not fun. And this show is all about liberating ourselves from suffering. So how do you dance with fear? Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to share a little story with you. Now, this is where I used to live. I used to live in Papua New Guinea. That's over on the other side of the planet. This was my village. When I arrived here, it was pure jungle. There was nothing here but trees. And slowly, we built a village. We were invited here. We did not push our way in. We were invited for years, literally, to come in and to help medically and to teach them how to read and write their own language. And that's my house there on the top right. And I lived here for 4.5 years amongst a group of indigenous people. And it was an amazing time in lots of ways. And it was challenging in lots and lots of ways, just like life, right? And so what I want to share is this story of when I went hiking through the jungle. So we had the first death in the village. A woman had been killed by a tree. A tree had fallen on her and crushed her skull. And we heard about it. It was in a neighboring little village. And so let me just remove that for you. So we went hiking through the jungle to go see her, to support her, and to support her family, and to see how they do funerals, and to learn and to grow. And it was an 8-hour hike. 20 minutes into this hike, my shoes gave out, and I had to hike the rest of the way in my stocking feet. My son Braden was in a backpack on one of the guys was helping me haul him. And we walked, it was straight up, straight down. I'm not exaggerating. We had to cross logs and rivers, and it was quite the hike. So 8 hours later, we get there, and right away we hear the wailing, and the lady's laid out, and she had been gone for already 3 days. And so the smell was intense, and the women there are swatting the flies, and the wailing was going on, and it was a really intense moment. And so we were just watching, my ex-husband and I, and we're observing. And all of a sudden, Ronnie, one of the guys in the village, he's standing next to me. He literally puts his hand down on a stump, takes an axe, and chops his finger off right in front of me. And I was like, like, I was shocked. I was appalled. I was everything all at once. And I looked around, and everyone seemed fine with this. I'm like, how is everyone okay with this? And he was crying, but really not about the pain. He was crying about the loss of his mother, it seemed like. Turns out that is a way that they show their grief, where they chop off their finger, they take the little nub, and they hang it in the trees, in the banana leaves, up in the rafters of their hut. And I didn't know what to do, but I'm like the medic there. I was the nurse, doctor, even though I'm not really trained, but we were doing what we could. And we would bandage people up and administer antibiotics and things. And if we had trouble, we could call somebody on the radio and get help. But I was in the middle of nowhere. And so it was me. And I was scared. I didn't know if he would bleed out. I didn't know. The whole thing was weird. So we ate, they dig a big hole in the ground, and they put hot rocks and then food and then banana leaves and then hot rocks and then food and then banana leaves. And then they cover it all with dirt, and they leave it for a period of time. And when they decide that time's up, they open it up and everybody eats, and it's a big feast. And so we partaked of that with them. And it was beautiful. In the middle of the night, I'm getting to the punchline here. In the middle of the night, I hear, Ronnie's dead. So I come flying out of my tent, trying to find him, thinking, oh no, he's gone. Sure enough, he's not, thankfully, but he's bleeding out in a bag. He's passed out. And I'm scared out of my skin. It's the middle of the night. I'm in the middle of the jungle with a lot of people I don't know, because it was different village people. Here's a guy that I care about bleeding out in a bag with his finger chopped off. What do I do? So scared. And I don't know what I'm doing. But then I was like, okay, but he needs me, right? If I don't do it, no one's going to do it, and he could die. And so what I did is I took my fear with me. I was like, okay, I get you. I see you. We're doing it anyways. And I took that first step towards him, bent over, cleaned it up, tied it off. Don't know if that was the right thing to do or not, but that's what I did. Cleaned it all up, bandaged it up, gave him antibiotics. And sure enough, years later, he's fine. So this is Ronnie right here, top left. I can't see that his fingers in that picture, but that's Ronnie. And the picture there on the side is the moo, they call it, which is where they cook the food. And so it was a very intense thing for me. I was not trained. So how do you dance with your fear? Okay, here are the steps. All right. Here we go. Here are the steps. You want to keep your eye on the prize. All right. You want to ask yourself, what do I want? So what did I want? I wanted Ronnie to live. All right. Not everything we're doing is life and death, but for him, I believe it was. And so for me, I had to ask myself, what do I want? I want Ronnie to live. I want him to be okay. All right. And then the second step is you take that fear with you. So I just had to do it. And it wasn't that I wasn't scared. I didn't wait to not be scared before I took the leap. If I did that, I wouldn't have done most of the things in my life, right? We can't wait for the fear to go away. We got to take it with us and we got to take the leap. We got to take the leap. We just have to move your body. Sometimes it's just moving it literally, physically, move your body and take that leap and go for it. Take it with you, dance with it. See it, acknowledge it even. Say, okay, I'm scared. So what? You're coming with me. This is important, right? How many things in our life are important and we stay scared and we don't do anything about it, right? So then the third thing is you want to create a mental movie. You want to visualize whatever it is that you want. You want to visualize it as if it's already gone the way that you like. So for me, I was visualizing Ronnie alive and well and doing what he does in the village, right? These are the things I was visualizing so that it helped me believe that it could be, instead of, what does fear normally do, right? It makes you want to feel everything and run. No. Face it. Leap. Take the leap and take it with you and watch the magic that happens when you take fear with you. I challenge you. I want you right now to think of something that you know that you're scared to do. I want you to write it down. And then I want you to tackle that thing and ask yourself, what do you want? Why do you want it? And then move your body. Take that step. Take the leap. All right. Awesome. Perfecto. All right. Now it is the time of the show for the... All right, so this is the time of the show where I get to introduce you to the amazing Renee Reisch. Renee has cultivated and inspired individuals and teams for over a decade. You immediately feel her energy when she enters a room. After over 25 years working in corporate America, Renee decided it was time to hang up the corporate ladder. She started her professional training and speaking as an instructor at the WHW, Women Helping Women, a nonprofit organization where she donated her time helping the unemployed and underemployed find and keep their jobs. Renee has received numerous awards over the years for bringing her teams to the number one position. Both her years and experience in this corporate world have taught her that in order to move the bar and increase profit, you must first invest in people. After suffering a devastating illness that took away her voice, then a few years later, the loss of her best friend and then father, Renee decided to follow their example to never give up. Now that legacy is how Renee has chosen to live her life and help others, showing them that just when they feel like it's closing in on them, there is always a way out. Today, Renee is a 4 times #1 best-selling author, founder of Finding Your Voice Network, and a women's inspirational executive leadership coach. She is passionate about helping leaders harness their unique inner wisdom and find their authentic voice. She believes that each individual has the capability to become a more confident leader, and her coaching program helps them unlock and unleash that potential. Renee holds workshops and speaks on topics such as leadership, emotional intelligence, and communication that lead to personal growth. She is committed to creating an environment of respect and inclusion that allows her clients to reach their highest potential personally and professionally. Put your hands together and drum roll, please, for the amazing Renee Reisch. Woo! Welcome. I think you're muted, my dear. There you are.
Thank you. Yes, the gal with the voice, right? Muted. I'm here. Thank you so much for having me on your show today. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you and sharing our voices together.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you're here. So first of all, I am going to let you connect with the audience for just a minute and let us know, who is Renee?
You know, Amy, I am a gal from the East Coast. I am grateful to be. I'm in Southern California now. I've been here for many decades. And I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful to have a voice. I know what we go through, we grow through. And I've learned that along my own journey in life, and losing my voice was truly the beginning of finding my voice in many ways, not just the physical voice, which was taken not from me, but for me, but the metaphoric loss of my voice in my own life, for the people pleasing, fear of judgment, limiting beliefs that I didn't even know I had, all of those things. And as I said, it's the loss of my voice was really the beginning of finding it.
I can't even imagine. How long was your voice gone for?
It was about 4 months. 4 months. The thing with that, it wasn't just not having a voice, it wasn't just not being able to speak. It was the fact that I had an illness that took me away from the public. I was very contagious at the time. So I remember laying in the ER, asked the doctor before my voice actually went. I said, "Am I contagious?" And he like looked down at me. He goes, "Oh, you're highly contagious. You can't be with the public."
Wow.
I was like, holy crap. Like like you can't be with the public. And it was very devastating. It took a toll on my mind because I am somebody who loves to be with people and loves to engage in conversation, and not being able to do either one was just a very devastating time.
And talk to me about the fear that you must have experienced, and how did you dance with it? Did you learn how to dance with it, or what happened?
Yeah, great question. I wasn't doing much dancing of any kind at that point.
Right.
It's a perfect question for this because truly we have to learn how to dance with our fears. And like I said, I wasn't doing much of anything like that. I wasn't a spiritual gal then.
Mm.
So, I go on these different interviews and I really wish I could say I went within, I did journaling, I did these affirmations. I did none of it. I didn't know from any of it. I didn't think about going within. It was like, what is that? Like, what is, I'm just trying to live. And I wasn't living. I wasn't surviving. I didn't want to survive at that point because I had a lot of pain in my vocal cords, on my vocal cords. And what I found out is that I had a lot of sores there. And that's what the pain was coming from. So if you think about like strep throat or something like that, it's just 10x the thing because it was off the
Yeah.
chart.
Wow.
And yeah, I wasn't really doing any kind of a dancing with fear. I will say though, I was very scared. I was very, very frightened because doctors had no cure for me. So there wasn't like, take this and call me in the morning, or take this antibiotic and we'll check back with you in 10 to, 7 to 10 days and see how you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a viral infection, so there was no antibiotic that could combat it. And as far as having like tea and honey or soup or something to soothe it, I couldn't because I wasn't able to swallow.
Wow.
So it was a very intense time.
So, what did you do to get through that?
I just said it was an intense time. It's interesting. I heard myself say it. It was time. It
Mm.
was the gift of time, having the gift of time. At that point, I was in corporate America, and that's when I got sick. It was going on at that point. LOA to me meant leave of absence, and that's what it does mean in the corporate world.
Okay.
But today it means LOA to me is law of attraction. And it has a different connotation completely. So
Woohoo!
I was on an LOA from work for my corporate job at the time, and I was just within my four walls and a body that I was just just like stuck in time, and not knowing how I would get out of it, not knowing what was going to happen, not knowing if I would be a mute. It was that fear of the unknown that
Right.
we always have fear. We don't know what any moment will bring. So I get that. But when you're sick, I won't say but and when you're sick, many times we turn to Western medicine for answers. I had 20 vials of blood that were taken in like 3.5 months as they tried to peel back the layers of the onion to
Mm.
find out what was wrong with me.
Did
And
did they find anything?
there wasn't, I won't say that was wrong with me. That's what they were trying to find out. It was it was myself that needed the time out, so to speak, the time
Yeah, that's
away.
exactly. Yeah, what was the emotional reason? Because we learned this in a past episode with Wendy Jensen. She has a book called Healing, oof, Healing Questions Guide, and you can go and find any ailment and find out what questions to ask yourself, emotional questions, of what's caused it. So what emotional reasons contributed to that?
In hindsight,
Yes,
when
of
I say,
course.
with or without the glasses, hindsight's 2020.
Right.
It's really all the things that I didn't believe, and that was believing in me. It was trusting my own voice. It was not giving up on myself. It was the fear of speaking how I truly felt, personally, professionally. I didn't until I no longer could because
Mm,
it was taken from me and for me. So I could really understand. And as I said, I wasn't spiritual then. I didn't understand that. So much so that even when I went back to work, I ended up having to go out for another couple of weeks because I wasn't really ready. I had like a bit of a,
mhm,
a backlash to it, and I was still not. My body wasn't completely healed, and I had to go out on another 2 weeks. It's a really interesting process, and it's funny I just said the word process because you have to process things, and I wasn't letting myself process anything, any emotion. I was just shoving everything down because I didn't
mm,
want to hurt anybody. I didn't want to speak up if I felt hurt. I would never say that I was hurt. I would never speak up for myself.
mm.
I didn't want to upset anybody. I didn't want to rock the boat. And in so doing, my boat was rocked terribly. And my life was rocked.
I know the obvious cost of that was losing your voice, but what are some of the other things, other costs of not speaking up, of not speaking your truth, of not telling people what you need, of not what were some of the other costs that came with that?
All of that. All of it's not speaking for what you believe in, not standing up for yourself when you've been wronged. When you are so concerned with everybody else and you leave yourself on the back burner,
Hmm.
you're the one who suffers.
It's true. You have to put the oxygen mask on yourself first,
Always,
and then
always.
it's the child. I literally had a conversation with my sister today about this because I'm actually a little under the weather right now, and she took a day last week, and she doesn't normally, and she made me promise to take a day next week just for me, and I'm grateful for that because I need to work harder at resting than I do, and that's kind of an oxymoron. Work hard to rest.
Yeah,
For those of us who don't have trouble with the working part, other of us need to amp up the work, and other of us need to amp down, right? Because we're all dealing with our stuff, right? But yeah, we have to take care and we have to listen. We have to listen to our bodies. We have to listen to our intuition. But so often we're just on the program and we're just going through life not paying attention,
yeah.
right?
We have to set the intention and pay attention to it.
Exactly. And that's why, seriously, this is why I'm doing the show, period. It's
Yeah.
about awareness. It's about waking up. How do I feel? What do I think? What are the costs? What do I want? What kind of life do I desire? What kind of life gets me excited, and what life am I living and doesn't match, right?
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't really in alignment with anything. And I kept
Interesting.
going through and running through life. My
Mm-hmm.
best friend, and she's watching over me from heaven, she used to say, quit running through life.
Mm,
My dad, who's also, he's passed as well. And he used to say, stop and smell the roses. I was just always running through life. I never stopped to appreciate, to give gratitude. I was just like a, bull in a linen closet. I was just running through to make sure that everything else and everybody else was taken care of. In
mm-hmm.
my corporate roles, my life, everybody else had to be, I wanted everybody to be happy.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I wasn't.
So I want to hear the rest of the story because I know you're not living in that way right now.
No.
So hang tight. I got a brief commercial. And when we come back, Renee has a gift for you all. So hang tight. We'll be right back after these short messages. All right, we're back. I'm just getting Renee back here. Awesome. So, Renee, tell us about the book that you wrote.
Well, great question. It's called Finding Your Voice, Unlock Your Chains, and Unleash Your Greatness. This is not a Photoshop. This is, in fact, on Newport Beach in California, in Southern California. And it's a picture that when my best friend and I used to go to Newport, that's the beach we always went to. We went to San Diego, and there was a picture I took of her with her, arms in the air. And then she took one of me like that. I said, that's the pose I'm going to do for my book. So this is not a, it's more like a journal book. It's a workbook book. And so you have something that's evergreen. It's a tool to keep with you. It's something that's evergreen because after each chapter, you have what's called a takeaway section. And in that, you get to write your answers on line pages that stay with you. And you can always look back and see how far you've come in the journey of finding your voice. So it's like I'm taking your hand and we're going through it together. Because as I said earlier, what we go through, we get to grow through. And this book is a great tool to do that. Some parts you will laugh because I share very vulnerably some things that I did. And you go, I can't believe she told us that, which I just say it. And then other parts are kind of like sad, like I can't believe she felt that way about herself. Because I think it's I say real, raw Renee. It's very real and relatable because we all go through things. And, I wrote an article not long ago about, people's real life versus their real life, the REEL that we see on social media, the highlight reel, versus the REAL, the real life that they are living, the things that are going on that you don't necessarily see. So when we scroll through social media and we see everybody's highlight reel, that REEL, it puts us in a place of like, wow, that's not me. How can I do that? And we start feeling lack. But when we really look at our real life and don't be consumed with other people's, stay focused on yourself, you can accomplish so much more.
Absolutely. So if you want to reach out to Renee, you can do that here. Take a photo of this, her link tree, Renee Reisch. And what all can they find there? Because you have a gift for them, yes?
I have a few gifts for them.
All right.
There is, first of all, you can get the book. It is available there. There is a 10-step complimentary download, 10 steps to finding your voice. And I also offer on the link tree, you will see a 30-minute complimentary consultation. So let's share our voices together. Reach out. I love to connect with people. So let me know that you're interested. My calendar link is there as well. So just put yourself on it, find a time that works for you, and we'll connect. And also my social media links are on there too.
Beautiful. Follow Renee, learn from Renee, connect with Renee. And me, we love this. This is why we do what we do, is to connect and to help and to liberate people from suffering and to allow them to find their freedom and their joy. So fun to be able to do this. Thank you, Renee, for being here. I also want to ask you this, because this is all about life hacks, this show. What is your number one life hack?
I would say to be you.
Hmm.
Just be you. That's the biggest thing. As I said, we scroll at social media. We're looking at everybody else's things, what they're doing. You can glean insight into something if it works for you, but be yourself. There's nobody else like you. I have a 12-week program that I also created, and it's a voice blueprint, and it takes you along the journey of finding your voice. So it's an acronym. V starts with vulnerability, and we end with empowerment. So that's a program that I created to help you along the journey of finding your voice. So as I said, let's connect. As I said, also the founder of Finding Your Voice Network, that is on the link tree too. So I invite you to join that network and be a part of this community, because it's in unity. We find that in our community, we find that unity, and it's a big, big thing. This life is not meant to be lived alone, and we're all on our own journeys. But when you collaborate, when you come together and you share your voices, you see we're not that much different.
It's true. We are more the same than we are different. That is the truth. This is why I've traveled the world with my kids, is to show them and to teach them that we are more the same than we're different. And then all the differences make it really interesting, right?
You know,
I
we think
Go
that
ahead.
our struggles are our own, is what I was going to say, but our struggles are our greatest strengths, and our obstacles really become our opportunities. So there's so much here that we can dive into, and I invite you to schedule an appointment with me. Let's share our voices. Let's do this thing called life together, and know that you're not alone.
Absolutely. I had a situation growing up with my sister. We didn't like each other at all for a long time. And I was the tomboy. I had all the trophies and all the soccer equipment and hockey equipment on my side of the room, and she had all the, I call it girly girl stuff. And we used to not what's the word I think is accurate? Resent. We used to resent each other, and secretly we found out we were both kind of jealous.
Mm,
But what came out was resentment. And finally, I love my parents for doing this, and I share this with parents. They sat us down and they said, "So you're different. So what?" And I remember sitting there going, "True. Like, so what?" Like and then dad's like, if we were all the same, wouldn't the world be so incredibly boring? And I
absolutely.
was like, you're so right. I wouldn't want everyone like me, or everyone like, like, really. So from that moment on, things were different for us. And I think about the world right now, and I can't believe we still live in a world that fights. Like, for me, I just can't understand it. But it is happening, and yeah, the more we can realize that we're the same versus all
You,
the differences,
I
right?
agree, Amy. And I was going to say it's our perspective, really, the perspective we take is also our perception of things. When we shift our perspective, we have a different perception.
Yes. Change your thinking, change your life.
Yeah.
Period. Right? And this is why we grow and we learn and we read, so that we can go, huh, interesting. That's a different perspective, right?
Absolutely. 100%. There's so much, information out there, the information highway. But when you kind of boil things down, as I said, we're more similar than different. And getting together with people like in this kind of arena, we have a podcast like, you're doing right now, and sharing our voices and knowing that there's opportunities out there, and that when you're feeling stuck, you can actually move through it. And being in a place like this, a safe environment where you can share your voice, where it's okay, you're not going to be judged. That's why I invite people to get on a call with me, because that's the environment that I create.
Mhm.
And I do it on purpose, because nobody wants to feel like they're being judged, and I create a safe space, and when we work together. So as I said, I invite you to reach out and connect, and let's share our voices together.
Yay. I love it. I love it. So one last question before we go. If you are on top of a mountain and you had the whole world's attention, and you could just share one thing, what would it be?
To never give up. Never give up on yourself. Never give up on your dreams, because we came into this life for a reason and we don't always find it. But
Mm-hmm.
when you get clear on what you really want and sit down with yourself, because we're many times running through life, know that there's a reason you're here. And sometimes it's to learn and to grow from where you were, to understand that we wonder why we go through things like, why did this happen to me? Why did that happen to me? But don't give up on yourself, because there is a purpose for you. And finding your purpose is really a big part of finding your voice. And
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't mean that you lost your voice like I did. I believe the reason I lost in such a very painful way, the physical and mental, emotional, it took a toll in every which way on me, was because there was a greater purpose for me to serve more people in a greater way.
Absolutely. So the question is if you had to do it again, Renee, and go through that situation, would you?
Gosh, that was intense pain, Amy. If God had it in the plans for me too, then I wouldn't really have a choice in that. I would pray that I would never have to go through that again, because it would mean that I never learned from it the first time.
No, I meant do it again. If you had to do it again,
I wouldn't want
because
to,
of all
honestly.
the gifts, because of
I
all the
would
gifts that have
I
come
wouldn't want to. It was intense. It was I would never want to. I would never wish on anybody. It was an extreme,
yeah,
intense time in my life. Um, I wouldn't wish it on anybody. The pain, it was like steak knives and razor blades down my throat
yeah,
24/7.
yeah, yeah.
So if I had to do it again, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it again. It was that intense that
I
I,
guess the
I couldn't
question
bear it.
really is are you appreciative for the gifts that came from it? That
There's the question. I will answer that with a
that's
yes.
the point.
I will definitely say yes. There were many gifts that came from it, but to go
Hmm.
through it again, I don't know that I would survive it. It was that intense,
Yeah, you're
and
thankful
that's
you don't have to.
yeah, and that thank God, thank God.
Yeah,
I'm grateful for what I learned, and I'm grateful that I can now serve in a greater way because of it, and the creations that I've had to be able to give back in a greater way.
yeah,
Absolutely,
awesome. Yes, life is happening for us, not to us. And
100%.
they're looking for those gifts everywhere and anywhere is such a joy. Thank you, Renee. I appreciate you so much for being here. Thank you for all that you've gone through to be the person that you are with the gifts that you have to share. And we'll have you back on at the end of the show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And look up Renee. Here's the link right here. Look her up,
And get your
connect with
book.
her. All right. We'll see you soon, sweetie.
Thank you so much.
Bye. All right. So now it is time for mantra magic. Yay. This is one of my favorite parts of the show. This is where Kelsey Garcia, my beautiful friend, she's a professional singer. She is committed to giving us a beautiful mantra every week that we get to play over and over again so that it changes our state, changes our thinking, changes our perspective, just like Renee and I were talking about. When you change your perspective, you change your life. And so this is the mantra for the week. Here is Kelsey Garcia.
Back to Mantra Magic. So good to see you. My name is Kelsey. Glad to have you back. The month of March is about work. And I know a lot of us work at home or around kids, where it's really important for two main things: boundaries and rest. It's good to keep, as an entrepreneur, busy. However, I've created a mantra this week to kind of keep in mind our two other necessities. No? Okay, so here we go. Working, doing my best. Working, take a step back. Working, doing my best. Working, say it's time to rest. Working, doing my best. Working, take a step back. Working, doing my best. Working, it's time to rest. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next week.
I love that she's talking about, I don't tell her what to do. Like, she's just in alignment. Like, and she can feel me. It's wild. I'll think about her and she'll call me. We're like super connected. And so here we're talking about rest and the need to take a break and listening to ourselves. And here we have the mantra for the week. So you can go to Instagram. My Instagram is Amy Joy Coaching. You can go there and get the mantra every week. And you can follow Kelsey there too. And it's a great way to get a little jig in your head, and it changes how you go about your day. So awesome. Thank you, Kelsey. I love you, girl. All right, we'll be right back for meditation moment right after these few words.
This world is changing more and more every day, and we've decided to change right along with it. My name is Dr. Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the president of Trajectory TV Network. At Trajectory, our vision is to provide a creative platform for top content creators and storytellers from around the globe. We're also dedicated to providing this world with content that is healing, educational, empowering, exciting, and above all else, entertaining and transparent. So right now, I invite all of you who believe yourselves to be global game changers to use the link found here and simply take a chance. Schedule a virtual chat where you'll have the opportunity to share your vision for your very own global television show with me, the network president. So use that link, and together, let's begin changing and healing this world, one story at a time. And remember, whether you have years of experience in front of the camera or zero experience, it doesn't matter. What matters the most is your desire to share great content through television and a willingness to share it with passion and with purpose. You might ask, how do I know if I've fallen in love with my purpose and my purpose has fallen in love with me? It's easy when you've lost your voice because you just can't stop talking about it. I'll see you soon.
All right. It is the time of the show where we have meditation moment. This is the part of the show where we take 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I want you to stop, if you can, whatever you're doing, and just sit down and do 5 minutes of meditation with me. I'm going to guide you. It's super easy. Meditation is simply becoming present to the right here and the right now. And when we do that, we're not in our messed up past and our messed up future that we're creating for ourselves that we so often do, right? Left alone to our own minds, we're often creating a bunch of crap, right? So this is a moment where we get to be right here, right now, where everything is fine. Everything is great. I want you to breathe in into your bellies for a second. Close your eyes if you can. If you're driving, please don't. But you can breathe. Breathe in. I'm going to play some beautiful music. This music is from my wonderful friend and unbelievable composer. He's got multiple Emmys for his music, and he has provided this music for me. His name is Gary Melkin. So you can look him up. He's got a show on Gaia called, oh shoot. It's on Gaia. It's amazing though. All right. So breathe in. And exhale. Again, exhale. And I want you to just observe. How do you feel right now? Don't make it right or wrong, good or bad. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you frustrated, or are you anxious? Are you calm? Are you joyful? What are you feeling right now? And just observe that. Just focus on your breath, breathing in and breathing out. And do you have thoughts of the past? Are they more thoughts of the future? Or are they thoughts right now, in the present? And again, no judgment, no right or wrong, good or bad. Just observe them. Breathing in and out. Now I want you to observe a candle burning right in front of your eyes. Notice the different whites and golds, yellows and oranges and reds. Just observe it. And then slowly slide that candle into the middle of your brain. And just let it burn there. Just watch it. And with your hands on your heart, I want you to think about one thing you're really grateful for. And hopefully it's something that makes you smile. And while you're thinking about that, I am going to send an energetic blessing, an activation. And this is with so much love. And all you have to do is set the intention to receive it or not. And with a deep breath in and a sigh, that's called a diksha. I learned that and was given the ability to share that when I spent time in India with my beautiful spiritual masters, Sri Krishna Ji and Sri Prita Ji. They are out of the World Center for Enlightenment. It's called Ekam. And that was the serene mind practice that we did here at the beginning that you can find on YouTube. I'm going to bring Renee back here. Renee, how was that for you, my dear?
Beautiful. I felt that beautiful energy. I received it, and I also sent it back to you for loving healing.
I appreciate that. That's amazing. So the question of the week next week, Renee, is going to be, how do you fix your own ass and other things too?
Great.
I have a doctor friend. His name is Dr. Stephen Clayman. He's out of Austin. He's an amazing chiropractor. And every third Thursday of the month, he comes and gives us some tricks and tips on how to fix our own ass and other things too. So that's what we'll be doing next week. But any last words for the audience? We have a few seconds here. 20 seconds.
Just gratitude. I am just really grateful, Amy, to be here, as I said, to share our voices together, that you invited me to be a guest on your show. And it is in sharing, our gratitude every day. There's something to be grateful for, no matter what's going on in your life. I invite people to journal. I do that too. And to let things come out, because I say what comes up will come out. And I want to extend my gratitude to you for having me on your show and sharing our voices with your audience.
Thank you for sharing your voice with the world, my dear, and especially for being here on the show right now. So grateful. Thank you,
so much.
audience, for being here. Thank you for your special, precious, very valuable time. I'm honored that you're spending it here. If you want to dig in deep and you want to get your shit together even more, you can go to Amy Joy Coaching. That's my website. There's coaching there. There's retreats there. There's healing sessions there. Go to Renee, hit her link tree here. This is her Calendly link if you want to take a quick gander at that. Otherwise, we will see you next week. Remember, together we vibrate higher. And that, my friends, changes the world. Have a blessed week. We'll see you next time. I love you.
Bye.
Awesome. Such a beautiful way to spend an hour. Love you guys. Mwah. Thank you for watching Get Your Shit Together live with Amy Joy. If you'd like to follow us, you can on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Amy Joy Coaching. Appreciate so much your likes, comments, and shares. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please reach out. We'll see you next time.